Hi, hello, welcome back to my knitting podcast. I can't believe we made it to the third episode. As you can see, we have a bit of a change of scenery because I made it to Poland. This is my old room. I arrived yesterday and it actually took me 8 hours to come here between plane and then train and then another train, and then my brother picked me up. So I had a lot of time for knitting. But before we get to that, this is my Ranunculus sweater, and I love it so much. I managed to finish it before I left, which was my goal, because I wanted to wear it here, and I didn't want to bring all the needles and the yarn and stuff, so I rushed through it, and I'm in love. So, a bit of a story about the sweater. I had to rip it off like a million times because I made it with yarn scraps, basically. I got these acrylic mohair wool blends at my local yarn shop. They had this like a big bin of yarn for like €2 a skein. So I thought, I'm gonna buy it. But I'm really bad at maths, so I didn't calculate it. I thought I had enough, but then I held it double and I didn't think, oh, if you're gonna hold it double, that's not gonna be enough. So yeah, so I arrived like almost to the ribbing of the body, but it was still too short and it had no sleeves and I ran out of yarn. And I thought they're not gonna have it because it's vintage. So like I bought out all of these colors, so I can't buy more, but I tried anyway. And they actually had this hot pink, which I used here, but none of the other colors. So I took this blue instead, which I thought was gonna look decent, let's say. But because of this new edition, I decided to rip off the body up to the sleeves so that I could add the blue. It still doesn't have the blue here, which bothers me a little bit, but not as much. So yeah, I added the blue, then I made the sleeves. I made them too short, so I had to rip them off, and then I ran out of most of the yarn. I only had the pink one left, so I had to rip them off again to kind of like rearrange the stripes. I'm really bad at planning, you have to know that. But anyway, yeah, it's ready and I love it. The sleeves are still quite short, but I'm hoping, I didn't block it yet because I literally finished it the night before I left, I think. So I'm hoping they will stretch out with blocking. I'm gonna give you a little spin, maybe. So this is how it looks. I love it, I actually do. So yeah, this is my Ranunculus. I would actually love to make it in another form, in like maybe more cam version. So I started making a shawl. I have this much done. Yeah, this much. I actually started it 2 days ago, but as I said, I had a lot of time for knitting on the plane and the train and all the other public transport that I took yesterday. So this is all like 2 days progress. However, shawls are really tricky because you start and you're like, oh my god, this is going so fast. And then you have 400 stitches on your needles and it takes you half an hour to make one row. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it's going. It is a knitted headliner shawl and it was designed by Bronagh Miskely for yarnsmiths for the yarn headliner. I'm making it for my boyfriend's grandma, and she asked me, she brought me this scarf, this shawl that she had, and it was destroyed, so she was like, could you make me one please? So I thought I'm gonna make her a similar one, or like just a triangular shawl with some lace in it. She chose the color. It's not my usual choice of color, but I'm making it for her. So but yeah, the original design calls for the headliner yarn, which is 100% cotton, but she wanted it to be warm, so I chose merino yarn, superwash. This is the yarn. that I used. It is Adriafil Genziana, and it's, as I said, extra fine merino wool. It is superwash. I'm not a huge fan of working with superwash yarn because, I don't know, I just like more rustic feel, I suppose. But I wanted it to be easy to care for, and also this is basically the only stuff that they had in my local yarn store. And I didn't want to buy it online, I don't know, because like I bought a lot of yarn online, and I just kind of missed the experience of going to a yarn store and touching things. So yeah, it's actually really, really soft, and I think she's gonna like it, I hope. However, it is a bit of a nightmare to work with, especially when you're making lace, because it is really slippery. It splits a lot as well because the twist is very... How do you say that? There's not much twist in it, so it splits. But that's like half of the problem. It is so slippery that when you like lose a stitch, it just goes right down. I had to rip off portions of this shawl quite a few times because of that. But I'm liking the final result. It's really drapey and it feels really soft and warm as well. So that's nice. I hope she's gonna like it. I'm a bit scared how it's gonna block out because like I obviously did the swatch and I washed it, but like I think you never know with superwash. That's also why I don't like working with it, because it's just really I don't know, it betrayed me a couple times. So yeah, I took this scarf with me as my travel project, also because it's small and portable. However, I don't think it was the best choice because I don't really do lace that much, so I'm not very experienced. This is a project where you actually have to sit here and like count stitches a lot. And I get distracted a lot. So yesterday I had to rip it off a couple times. Okay, so that's enough about the scarf, I think. I have a couple of yarn plans for while I'm here because I bought so much yarn on. I think I'm gonna do like a yarn haul slash what my projects are gonna be in the next video, because I bought so much yarn in the last couple of weeks. I'm working through it though, like I'm being good. But I have to buy more because I have other projects in mind. And I'm hoping to buy it here rather than online. I have there is actually a yarn shop in my town where I live, like in the middle of nowhere in the countryside, but there is a town nearby, and I think there is a yarn shop. I'm just looking for sock yarn. I want to make socks. It's a secret. I'm not gonna say anything because I think the person I'm making them for will watch. I hope they're gonna watch this. But yeah, I want to make socks. So I need sock yarn in very specific colors. I'm hoping that they have it. Like, it's kind of basics. But if they don't have it, then I think I'm gonna go to Warsaw for a day because I just love Warsaw. It's such a nice place. Like, you should visit Warsaw. You should visit Poland. It's lovely. Like, it's so underrated. But yeah, I want to go to Warsaw and maybe like go to a couple of yarn shops there because I've never actually been to any yarn shops in Poland. I'm going to Krakow as well, and I might go to a couple of yarn shops there. I don't want to buy anything big. Like, I just want to stick to my things. But I just want to like have a look around because, as I said, I've never been to any yarn shops, any decent yarn shops in Poland, and I think I'm missing out, maybe. So these are the plans. I think I will update you if anything interesting happens. And also I'll let you know how the scarf is going. Bye. This is not the first time I'm recording it, or I'm saying it, because the first time did not record, in fact. But I was just about to go to sleep, and For some reason, I opened my desk drawer and I found treasures. And I'm gonna show them to you now. So, this is my forgotten yarn stash that I did not remember existed. First, we have my first yarn ever. This is 100% acrylic, and I made a scarf with it, and my tension was so tight that I couldn't move the stitches around the needles. I'm not gonna use it like ever, because I don't use acrylics anymore. I think I might give it to my cousin, who also knits, and dare I say, I influenced her. Then this is also from my early days. I bought it for crocheting. I made a basket with it. It's t-shirt yarn, so it's like made with fabric. I don't know, made with fabric that folds into itself, forming this like tube. As I said, I crocheted a basket with it, and then I had this much left. Had no idea what to do with it. Still don't. Might give it to my cousin again. You know, another massive ball of yarn is this one. I'm almost sure it's 100% wool, and I think I got it in Flying Tiger. I started making a thing out of it. It was supposed to be a blanket. However, for some reason, I decided to make it very loose. I don't know. I started making another blanket out of this yarn. And then I got to about like halfway through and I gave up. I put it down for 3 years, not frogged. Then I frogged it. I made it into a sweater, which I also hate. So I'm thinking of frogging the sweater and making a blanket out of it again. So if I decide to do so, I might take this yarn with me. Then we have leftovers from my Totoro jumper, this is superwash wool. It's nice, but like I'm not sure what to do with it. I'm just gonna add it to like my scraps basket. Then we have leftovers, if you can call it that way, because there's a lot. There's actually more than this, but it's somewhere else and I can't be bothered to bring it. This is like lace weight mercerized cotton, and I made a temperature blanket with it. Or well, I didn't finish it because it's a temperature blanket. They never get finished. However, it is big enough to like cover something. So currently it lives on my couch. I have a lot of leftovers though, and I not a clue what to do with it. If anyone has any suggestions for any of this yarn, please help a woman out. More cotton in like undefined quantities. Like, what is this? There is some more woolly leftovers. Again, tiny quantities. Scrap basket, I suppose. Then we move on to sock yarn. I'm actually not sure what it is because it was sold to me without the label, I think. I have orange and I have green. I love this combo. I was a victim to one sock syndrome. Finished one, never got to the other. Well, actually, I have this much. But yeah, it feels more like cotton than anything else. No clue. Scrap basket. Then we have more cotton. Baby blue. I don't like this color. I'm not sure why I bought it. I did start making something out of it. I think it was, oh, it's yellow. Nasty. I think it was supposed to be a blanket. Like, I was trying to make like a wavy pattern. And now I'm thinking, are you mad? Like, this is fingering weight. Imagine making a blanket out of fingering weight yarn. Couldn't be me. Yet again, cotton scrap baskets that I don't know what to do with it. Next, we have hedgehog fiber sock yarn. This is actually a nice colorway. Like, I love the hot pink and green combo. However, I decided to make knee-high socks with it, with broken rib, like all over. The idea of making knitted knee-high socks is crazy in itself, because they're just not adherent, especially with broken rib. They're just not gonna hold. I worn them once and they kept falling off my legs. And I was like, nope. Shoved them into the deepest corner of my closet. Still have them. I want to frog them actually and make 2 pairs of normal socks. So I'm taking this one with me. Then we have the softest yarn that I've ever touched. I got it in Amsterdam. I actually don't remember what it is. I got it in Stephen West's shop. If I find the name of it, I'm gonna write it somewhere here. Because I think there is surely some cashmere in it, because it's just so soft. I can't. I made a pair of gloves with it, held double with fingering weight yarn, and I love the gloves. They're really soft. Not sure what to do with this one, because I pay like quite a lot of money for it, so I would like to use it. Then we move on to the garment section. We have this top, which I think is self-drafted, as you may people. No, actually, it's Camisole number 4 by My Favorite Things Knitwear, maybe. But anyway, I was trying to adapt it to this yarn and I failed miserably because it's way too big for me. You can see the straps are tight and it's still like my boobs are showing when I'm wearing it. However, I have another top that is too small for me. Can you tell that I don't like making swatches? Made with the same yarn. And I'm planning to frog it because I have another project in mind that I want to use the yarn for. So I might frog it while I'm here and take the yarn with me. Then we have this sad rag. It is 100% cotton. I think it's from Katya. I actually love the gradients, like the pink and the green. It's very autumnal, I think. But it was made with one skein, that's why it's so short. And it was made very badly. I really want to frog it and make like maybe a shawl out of it. We'll see. And then the star of the show. This one, and these. So this is Katya, again, Ingenua. It is 78% mohair, 13% polyamide, and 9% virgin wool. And I made a sweater with it, which I brought with me. So I'm gonna show you a little video of me wearing it. So this is the sweater I told you about. Excuse the crinkles, but I just got it out of the suitcase. It's self-drafted, so the shape is a bit awkward, but I like it anyway. But I am guilty of buying too much yarn that I need. which I suppose is better than losing yarn chicken, right? So yeah, I have 2 full skeins of this and then all of these leftovers. And I think it might be enough for Ranunculus. I'm gonna do maths. Not now. If it's enough, I'm gonna take it with me and make another Ranunculus. So yeah, the problem with all of this is that I don't know what to do with it because I don't want it to just stay here and not be used. However, in Italy, we are moving houses soon, so I should be shrinking my stash rather than increasing it. And I've already bought a lot of yarn recently. And I think my boyfriend would kill me if I bought more or if I brought more. So for now, I'm gonna have to leave it here, and I think I'll be bringing it one by one in hopes that my boyfriend won't notice. No, like I have limited space as well, obviously, in my luggage. So for now, I'm gonna bring this and hedgehog fibers and maybe the mohair one if it's enough to make a sweater. That's the plan. Thank you for this lovely journey in my surprise stash, I suppose. Hi, this is my second last day in Poland. I'm flying out tomorrow in the evening, so I thought I would update you on a couple of things. First of all, I got a new haircut and I love it. I used to have bangs, then I grew it out, but I thought I want to go back to it. It was like a last minute decision while I was on the hairdresser's chair. Love it though. Then I have an update on my shawl, which has grown quite a lot, I'd say. This is it now. It's still very wrinkly because I keep it in a bag. But I think it's gonna. I tried blocking this part and it's blocked out. I just steamed it. I didn't wet block it yet, but it's blocked out quite nice, I'd say. So I finished the eyelet section, and I'm on the first repeat of the diamond section. I think it's going quite well. I might finish it maybe next week, I hope. And I wanted to say it's a lovely pattern. It's really easy to memorize the repeats, but it's engaging anyway. I had to rip off almost every stripe at least once, because as I said before, I get distracted easily. But it's a nice pattern. So yeah, this is it for now. Yesterday I finished the second ball and I started the third one. I have to go a bit slower because this is my last ball of yarn that I brought here. I didn't think I would have so much time for knitting, but I did. Because, and I'll tell you about it next. We went camping with my parents because you have to know that my father loves to fish. And on the weekends, he just goes camping to a local lake and he stays there for like a day or 2 or 3 sometimes. So we decided to go with him. We had this massive tent, and we stayed there for 3 days. So I had a lot of time for knitting in the sun and knitting in the wind as well. We went cycling with my mom and then I met a goat and obviously I had to take a photo with her. I'll show you like little clips of the weekend. My dad was the cameraman. I asked him to film me a couple times. I think he did a good job, I'd say. So yeah, so I had a lot of fun over the weekend. Then another thing yarn related that I did was going to a yarn shop. I told you before that there was a yarn shop in the town nearby, and I went there. I did not buy anything because they didn't have what I was looking. Well, I actually did buy. So yeah, I bought these wooden markers. They're hand painted. And I also had like a 40-minute chat with the owner because she started showing off her shawls because people come to her to order shawls and she makes them. And then I started showing off my things and I showed her my shawl and she was like, oh my god, add me on Facebook and do send photos of your things. So that was a nice surprise. But I still didn't buy the yarn that I was looking for, so I think I'm gonna do a little research because I'm going to Krakow tomorrow and I have quite a lot of time before my flight. So I was thinking to search for yarn shops and have a look around. Then the last news that I got for you, which is not really knitting related in any way, but I feel like it enters the kind of cozy cottagecore vibe that I have going on here. I don't know if you know, but the Moomins are having their 80th anniversary this year. And because of that, I didn't know that. I learned about it like a week ago. They released collectible cards. You can like buy an album and then packets of cards. Sort of like Pokemon, I suppose. And I got them. I found them in a bookshop in my town. And I'll show them to you. Not all of them, but I'll show you my favorite cards because I think they're just so cute. I want to buy a full album because I just bought the single packets because my boyfriend collects Pokemon cards, sort of. And I've never had anything to collect. And I just think these like check all the boxes of like my aesthetic because they're just so pretty. So welcome to the Moomin card segment of this video. I decided to change the angle because it just the camera focus and everything. Excuse my messy desk, but I was an artsy kid, so it's all paint from my various projects. Anyway, we have these photo album cards. I got 3 of them. This one's probably my favorite, although they're all quite strong. And then we have this one. I think this one is gorgeous. I love this character. I don't know their name in English if anyone wants to help me out. More adventure cards. Then we have the quotes card. This one is sparkly. I have quite a few of sparkly ones. This one is, I think, one of my favorites. Just for the quote. Then we have the seasons card. I got 1 spring, 2 summer cards and 1 autumn. This one is sparkly too. I like this one a lot. Then we have the fluffy cards. These are amazing. The movements on them have like a fluffy texture. I actually got a dupe of this one and I put it in my Hobonichi diary. We have this wintry one as well. It's textured too. Then we have the golden cards. I don't know who they are, but I just love this card so much. They're so goofy. We have these, and then we have the silver one. And then I also managed to get a pair because some of them, there are 2 cards that you sort of join to get the full image. And I got a pair of these. It's like metallic as well. The edge is kind of mirror. I love this art style so much. So yeah, these are my Moomin cards. I want to buy more, I think. I want to buy the album to put them in, and then more packets. Unfortunately, they're not available in Italy, even though they're produced by Panini, which is an Italian company. They're not available in Italy. I think it's because Moomins were not a thing in Italy, really. Oh, that's what my boyfriend says. So yeah, let me know if you like this sort of like not really knitting related content, because like, well, I'm not saying that I'm gonna make like videos of unboxing cards packets, but I just sort of feel like it belongs here as well. And I don't know, I don't want to limit myself and not put things that I think are cool in the video just because they're not knitting related. These are my cards. I'm really happy with them. I think this video is going to be a bit longer than the previous ones, but that's just because like I did a lot of things that I want to share. I hope you don't mind. And now I will show you a couple of clips from the camping trip, from me petting the goat, and maybe from Krakow as well. I'm not sure yet. If I see anything interesting, yarn related or Moomin related maybe, I will include it as well. And otherwise, I will see you in the next video back in Italy. Bye!